You scroll through hundreds of contacts but have no one to call on a bad day. That empty feeling when you're surrounded by people yet completely alone. We've all been there, connected yet disconnected in our modern world. I remember the crushing loneliness after another failed friendship, sitting in my apartment surrounded by silence, wondering why meaningful connections felt impossible, the ache of wanting to be understood but building walls instead of bridges. Then came the explosive fight that changed everything. Words hurled like weapons with the person I cared about most. That moment when you realize your communication skills have been destroying what you wanted to preserve. The painful realization hit me at 3 a.m. I was the common denominator. My avoidance of vulnerability, my quick judgments, my distraction during conversations, I was sabotaging my own relationships. I discovered the three pillars holding up all healthy relationships: trust built through consistency, respect shown through boundaries, and communication practiced with intention. Without these, connections crumble. My first experiment: complete presence, putting my phone away and truly listening, not planning my response but absorbing their words. I noticed how rarely we actually hear each other in our distracted world. The vulnerability challenge was terrifying, sharing a real insecurity with a friend instead of my usual polished facade. Their unexpected support taught me that trust is built in these unguarded moments. Learning to set boundaries felt selfish at first, but saying, "I can't talk right now," with kindness preserved relationships instead of poisoning them with resentment. Real respect starts with self-respect. Then came the hardest test: rebuilding trust after a misunderstanding. Instead of defensiveness, I practiced "help me understand." That simple phrase transformed arguments into connection points. I started small with acquaintances, remembering details, following up. That cashier I saw daily, I learned her name. These micro-connections built my relationship muscles. The friendship audit was revolutionary, investing deeply in 5 key relationships rather than spreading myself thin across 50 superficial ones. Quality over quantity became my mantra. I practiced being the supporter I wished I had, showing up with soup during a friend's illness, remembering important dates. Small acts that shout "you matter" to me louder than any grand gesture. The transformation wasn't instant. There were awkward moments and setbacks, but gradually conversations deepened, laughter came easier, silences felt comfortable instead of tense. My breakthrough moment: receiving a midnight call from a friend in crisis. Not because I had all the answers, but because they trusted me with their pain. That's when I knew real connection had formed. I learned to embrace uncomfortable conversations, addressing issues early before they festered into resentment. Speaking truth with kindness became my superpower. Celebrating others' successes genuinely, without envy, that took practice. But as I cheered louder for friends, an amazing thing happened. Their joy became my joy too. The reciprocity surprise: as I gave freely without expectation, support returned in unexpected ways. My community became my safety net during my own tough times. Now I wake to real messages, not just notifications. Inside jokes that make me laugh aloud. People who notice when I'm struggling before I say a word. This is what belonging feels like. That old loneliness seems like another lifetime. My relationships now have roots that go deep, weathering life's storms. The investment paid compound interest in emotional wealth. The beautiful truth: healthy relationships aren't about perfection. They're messy, require maintenance, and demand courage, but they're always worth the effort. Your transformation starts with one intentional act today. Put your phone down and truly listen to someone. Share something real. Set a kind boundary. Remember, trust is built in the consistency of small acts. Respect grows when you honor your own worth. Communication improves one vulnerable conversation at a time. Don't fear the awkward beginnings. Every master was once a beginner. My first attempts at vulnerability were clumsy, but they started a revolution in my relationships. Your circle might be small, but let it be mighty. Depth over breadth, authenticity over performance. These connections will become your lifeline and your joy. Look around at your life today. See those relationship opportunities everywhere: in the coworker, the neighbor, the family member. The seeds are already there. Your journey begins now. Take one step toward connection today. Because a life rich in relationships isn't just happier, it's longer, healthier, and infinitely more meaningful. You deserve that depth.